Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight I want to welcome Larry Graves back to the channel. Tonight we are doing a continuation of our Captain Beefheart series, Episode 2, 1969 to 1970. We're doing Trout Mask and Decals. Let's do it.
Grant is changing the world one track at a time on Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and welcome to yet another episode in our Captain Beefheart series. I want to, ladies and gentlemen, Larry Graves. Look, he's already got the props. Larry Graves is here again. We are going through the Captain Beefheart albums, and we're really looking at these records to try to turn you on to them, or maybe not. We're getting into some pretty crazy stuff here because tonight we're looking at 1969's Trout Mask Replica, produced by Frank Zappa. And, you know, this is one of those monumental, either it's considered a very jarring release, or it's very influential, monumental, but we're going to get to that. So we're looking at that, and we're also looking at the follow-up record, Lick My Decals Off, Baby. So just going to talk about it, have a discussion. Maybe we can turn you on to it. I don't know. But we're just going to have a little talk of it. So, Larry, nice to see you. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm well. After I did that, we were talking a little bit about the cruise before we started to record. Now, most people, you know, you go on a cruise and you get the cruise crud. Well, I got cruise crud, and then it turned into COVID. So,
ooh, yeah.
And I just pretty much just got over that. So, it was a bit of a rough.
So, what's that first thing you said? Because I've never heard of it.
Cruise crud?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Well, they always
I've never been
on
a
cruise, and you go on a cruise and you always pick up some kind of sickness.
Yeah.
You know, when I went on the cruise last year, I didn't pick up anything, but this year I did.
Really makes me want to go on a cruise.
Well, it depends what cruise it is. Now, if you go on like the cruises I'm going on, they're all music cruises. It's all jam-packed, Larry. It's just like music. All I do is go from event to event to event.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. But it's not something that I go on and relax to. It's not a relaxing trip. It's a work trip. But anyway, unlike the cruise, this could be a lot of work for some, but we're going to take a look at Trout Mask Replica. So this is very experimental. There is nothing else like this on the planet. We're talking 1969 too. So basically, I think what we've got, if I can explain it well enough, it's kind of a bringing together of experimental rock, R&B, blues, free jazz,
spoken word,
atonal vocals. It's very avant-garde. For someone who hasn't listened to the record and you just go into it, it's very jarring.
It's hard to dance to.
And I mean, how long have you listened to this record? How long have you known about this record?
I probably listened to it for the first time. I don't even remember. Probably the late 70s, I guess. And I hated it, just like most people do, right? The first time. I don't think too many people, oh, I love this album, right? The first time, because like you said, it's so jarring. There's nothing like it, right? Like, I mean, the band is great. The music's great, but you have to get used to however the hell they're playing it.
Well, I think that from what I understand, is that the band rehearsed for 8 months, and then they recorded it in under 6 hours with Frank producing.
Yeah.
So in order to play this stuff, as you know, you would have to be very together. You would have to have a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And what I've read about the whole sessions, it was pretty much hell for not so much the sessions, but the practices were pretty much hell for the band because I guess
they were
Captain
starving and everything.
And Don, I guess, was just, let's, do it.
Taskmaster. Yeah.
Yeah, like a taskmaster.
And then when he was recording the vocals, I guess he didn't even listen to the headphones with the music.
Yeah.
He was just hearing the music bleeding in, and he's just singing over it like it's crazy, but
Very,
it works.
it works.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this because you had heard it so long ago. How, back then, how did you get turned on to this record for one? Because this wouldn't be just one of those albums that, your buddies are going to go, hey, Larry, let's check this out. This is great. It's just like
Yeah, well, I used to
curious.
buy all the old, like Cream magazine in the early 70s and all that.
Mhm.
And then, I'm a big Frank Zappa fan. I got turned on to him in 1975. So I might have heard Captain Beefheart for the first time on Bongo Fury, possibly. And I liked that after a couple of listens at least.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, whenever I heard Trout Mask Replica, and
So
I hated it.
you hated it.
Yeah.
But it took what? How many listens did it take before? I'm not even sure I got it yet. I'm not even sure I get it.
Yeah.
But I understand the complexity of it. I understand in order to play this stuff, you would have to be just like top notch, a top notch player for anything.
Yeah. The playing is just insane when you I think all of the musicians are very well respected in music. But I think what finally, maybe after two or three listens, I think the humor, some of it is humorous. And that's what I kind of gravitated to first of all, like that Ella Guru. That's probably my favorite song on the album. And
The most accessible.
that Pina with, the Fast and Bulbous, that's a pretty famous track. That's right, the
Okay.
Mascara Snake, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's not the best song, but it's entertaining. And
All
I've
right.
always loved Ella Guru.
All right. So what we're going to do now, because Larry mentioned the song Pina, I'm going to play a snippet, or maybe I'll play the whole damn thing. It doesn't matter. Just to let you hear it, because you're just going to have to make your own decision on here, because it's hard for us to influence you. So we'll play that and just leave a comment down below what you think of it.
It
So,
sucked.
it sucked. But Larry said that's probably the most accessible thing. So I'm going to throw that out and just let us know down below.
Fast and bulbous.
Fast and bulbous.
That's it.
Okay, do it again.
I love that. I love those words.
Fast and bulbous.
That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and bulbous.
Bulbous also tapered.
Yeah, but you've got to wait until I say. Also, a tin teardrop.
Christ.
Again, beginning.
Fast and bulbous.
That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and bulbous. Also, a tin teardrop.
Bulbous also tapered.
That's right.
Pina, her little head clinking like a barrel of red velvet balls, full pass noise. Treats filled her eyes, turning them yellow like enamel-coated tacks. Soft like butter, hard not to pour. Out enjoying the sun while sitting on a turned-on waffle iron. Smoke billowing up from between her legs made me vomit beautifully and crush a chandelier. Fall on my stomach and view her from 1,000 happen facets. Liquid red salt ran over crystals. I later band-aided the area side. Oh well, it was worth it. Pina, pleased but sore from sitting, chose to stub her toe and view the white bulbs horribly large in the red pockets. I'm tired of playing baby, she exclaimed, and out of a blue felt box let escape one yellow butterfly the same size. Its droppings were tiny green phosphorus worms that moved in tuck and rolls and quacked and whispered in their confinement. Three little birds scotch taped windows several yards away, mouths open to tongues that vibrated and lost saliva. Pina exclaimed, "That's raspberries!"
The fact that they've got polyrhythms, polytonality within a track. Um, you'll have like someone playing in one key and then someone else playing in another key. It's not like standard 4/4 Led
No,
Zeppelin.
no.
Not like Led Zeppelin 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Yeah.
very complex, and it challenges it as a listener. It challenges you, and it also challenges the band who recorded it.
Yeah.
Uh, I I don't know. What do you think about do you have any thoughts on like Captain Beefheart's lyrics? Are very surreal. I don't think anything means anything. Uh,
Well, there is that one Dackhelm Blues.
yeah.
It's about I think the Nazis and all that. That's kind of a serious track, but otherwise, yeah, it's just crazy as usual, right? Like
Mhm.
uh, the blimp and old fart at play.
But when I listen to this, I have to listen to it and I just can't listen to the whole thing.
Oh, I listened to the whole thing.
You can listen through the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you get to the end, you're like,
Now, when we get to the next album,
okay.
that's a different story. But
So after going through this, can you see the brilliance of this record? Do you see why it's brilliant? I
yeah,
mean,
I can. It's not my favorite though. I think the later Captain Beefhearts, the last probably three are my favorites.
mhm.
That and Safe as Milk.
Yeah. Well, when we did Safe as Milk, there were some comments on a lot of people think that's really pretty much their favorite. And by the way, go down below the other Captain Beefheart episode is down below, so please catch up with that. Um, a lot of people really love Safe as Milk,
Yeah.
because it's experimental, but this is just considering if you jump from Safe as Milk to this,
It's totally
polarizing,
different.
totally different.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was with Don, how he got this idea. I mean, do you have any insight into that and how this really came about? Because I don't.
No idea.
But anyway, it's very polarizing. You
Yeah.
have to do it in multiple listens to even get it. But man, I mean, if you're a musician, if you're a guitar player, you're a drummer, percussionist, you can get it if you really pay attention and concentrate on the parts. It's really an amazing piece of work. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're a Captain Beefheart completist, you're gonna want it. But I do think that there are probably, well, I think even the next album we're going to talk about, I probably like this better because it is a bit more. No, you
No.
don't know. You like this better?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we'll
I
talk
don't-
about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I appreciate Trout Mask for what it is. It's just revolutionary and it's never been duplicated. Um, I really don't know what more to say about it. You have to hear it. Just go out there. If you're watching this show and you're trying to get into Captain Beefheart, don't start here. I would start with Safe as Milk. I think that's a good entryway. What do you think?
Or Clear Spot. That's a fairly normal, kind of a normal album.
Yeah.
And his singing is really, really good on that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't start here though.
Yeah. The thing is, if you haven't heard this before and you go to listen to it, you probably aren't going to like it. But that's normal. But give it, go away from it for a week or two and then try it again. And if you still hate it, then maybe forget it. But
Well, let's say since you've had a lot, I mean, I know the record, sat through it. I mean, from a creative stamp, I mean, what would you rate? Of course, commerciality. There is no commercial qualities to this record at all. But from a creative standpoint, I mean, how would you rate this in his catalog? I mean, if you're going to give it a rating out of 10,
uh,
I mean,
yeah,
people think it's
I
a
like it a lot.
masterpiece.
I like it a lot. I give it like an 8.5 at least.
Mhm. I would agree
So,
with
so the first time you heard this,
you. Uh-huh.
how long ago was it, and what did you think of it?
I hadn't really heard it, but we were on a trip to see my son out in Seattle, And normally when you go through the cheapy bins, well, not the cheapy bins, but the used bins, you never see any Captain Beefheart used.
No.
Well, when we were in, I think we were at Sonic. Where were we at? I can't read the name, but we were out in Seattle, and I'll be darned if I found a used copy of this for $8.99, which is a little bit more than I want to spend. But for the most part, I'm not even sure if this is still in print on CD. And I thought, all right, I'm in. So it really like a couple of years. I wasn't like you, and you've had a lot of time to really soak it in, you know.
Yeah.
But I can listen. I don't have a problem with it. It's just, man, if you think, oh, this shouldn't be all that bad, I've heard safe as milk, this should be fine. It's a totally different animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this album cover, I don't know my fish, but I guess that's a carp, isn't it?
That's
It's
a
not
carp.
trout.
That's not a
It's
trout. That's a
Trout
carp.
Mask Replica. And there's a light bulb on top of his, I think it's a light bulb. It's just crazy. Like
Mhm.
that's a good sign of what's inside the album.
That totally tells you all you need to know.
And the back, right? I love this band
Mhm.
photo.
Great photo. I think Zappa was probably the best producer for this because, he and Don went way back.
Yeah.
They grew up together, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
So they were like friends. I think what Zappa did, he probably just unwound Don and just said, Don, go for it. And
Yeah.
they were so well
And he also
rehearsed.
produced that, I forget his name, that really crazy guy, but
Uh, oh,
Wild Man Fisher. But the thing is, like, I started to watch a documentary on him, right?
mhm.
And the guy seriously had mental issues. And I just thought it was sad. I couldn't watch it. And I don't even, I wouldn't even want to listen to the album because he had serious mental issues, right? I think in that way, Frank Zappa was kind of taking advantage of him
Mhm.
for being seriously crazy.
Well, he really thought that there was something with Wild Man Fisher. I
Yeah.
don't know if he was amused by it, but don't forget he also recorded the GTOs,
Yeah.
And have you heard that record?
No, but he also was a fan of the Shaggs. He said they were better than the Beatles, which I disagree with.
I think he's off on that, Larry.
That is a
Totally
fun
off.
record to listen to, though. Like it's because it's so naive and they mean well when it's sweet in a way, but it's bad.
Shags are bad in a different way.
Yeah.
It's really catchy. If you really listen to the Shags, their songs are quite catchy.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just they can't play their instruments.
these guys can play their instruments.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing really catchy here. It's even further out. If you've heard the Shags, this
Oh,
is
I don't know.
like,
Ella Guru. That's pretty catchy.
mhm. I guess that would be the kid single.
So,
So-
do you have any songs that you really
Oh,
love or
that changed my life. Let me look. Um, uh, after going through this, I would say, uh,
the blimp? It's the blimp, Frank.
Blimp
It's
is-
the blimp.
the blimp is fun.
Yeah.
No, not really, because it's
Okay.
such a.
You could have just BS and pick a couple songs.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with Falling Ditch and Ant-Man B. Those are my
Okay.
favorite.
Sing them.
Yeah. But anyway, I like it. It's. Let me leave it at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's not something that I return to very often. But I much more return to Safe as Milk as opposed to this.
Yeah.
But hey, it's groundbreaking. I'll leave it at
So
that.
what would you rate it?
I think it's brilliant. I would give it an 8.5. Now, it's not like I turn to it. You don't listen to this every day either, but
No.
you can appreciate it and I can see the brilliance in it.
Now
So,
there is a future Captain Beefheart album that I have played. It's one of my top 10, probably top 10 favorite albums. And when we get to it,
We'll get to it.
get to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But so anyway, this came out. I don't even know how this sold. I have no idea. I'm sure it didn't. It never went platinum. Probably never went gold.
No.
It's a cult classic. So after that, so anyway, so this came out. This is not. I don't know how you look at this record. I don't think it's as extreme or as creative as Trout Mask. We all hear this differently.
Yeah.
But didn't this come out? Was this 70 or 69?
No, it had to be at least 1970.
Okay.
Yeah, 1970. Yeah.
And this I do believe was also, this wasn't produced by Frank. This was produced by the band.
Yeah.
So before we were talking about it, I thought that this, I don't think this is adventurous. I don't think it's as extreme as Trout Mask. I would say it's a little bit more commercial. That's just, oh, holy shit. Is it really? It's not commercial, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not at all.
A little bit more accessible, but you don't like this record as much as
I've
Trout
never,
Mask?
I played it again today. It had been a while since I played it. I played it, quite a few times in the last 5 years. I just can't totally get into it. I love, there's a couple of songs, Dr. Dark, I love, and I Love You, Big Dummy. But there's like, do you think is it similar to Trout Mask Replica? Because I don't know.
think it's similar, but it's not quite as intricate. It's a little bit more. I want to use the term commercial, but you can't use the term commercial here. I think it's a bit more accessible. That's the way I hear it. But we all hear this stuff differently.
But the one thing I will say is Captain Beefheart, when he plays the sax, I know it's weird because he kind of plays it badly, but it works. Like I enjoy his sax playing for whatever reason.
Now,
Because it's so insane.
we should have talked about this on Trout Mask, but evidently Don pretty much played everything out on the piano, and he couldn't play the piano.
Well, it makes sense.
I just find
the guitarist or whatever would do all of the work for him, right? Like writing down everything that, yeah. And from Lick My Decals Off, Baby, here is Dr. Dark.
Son. Mama, here come Dr. Dark. Horse clipping, climbing his old hooves, making sparks. Gotta get me who I want to. God Lord knows I've got to. See that Dr. Dark.
Well, this record I do think Beefheart thought was his finest album. I don't know, maybe it is, but it is the fourth album, and of course it's the follow-up. A lot of fans, when I did some research, a lot of fans consider it to be one of the best offerings in Zappa's, in Don's and Beefheart's catalog. You like some of the other stuff later, so
Yeah, yeah.
some people even think that this is better than Trout, but you could never get into it.
No, I've tried and tried. Like, it's not like I dislike it, but do you want me to give it a rating?
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
I'll give it like a 6.5.
Just because you can't get into it, or well,
I
what is it about it that it just doesn't do
I
it?
don't know if it seems more forced or something, or uh it and there's more xylophone on it or something. And I
Maybe
usually
it's the
like xylophone.
xylophone.
What's that?
Maybe it's the xylophone
No,
too.
but I do like the xylophone, like when Zappa uses it, but
Mhm.
I don't know, it just doesn't connect with me the way that Trout Mask Replica does.
See, it connects with me a little
Yeah.
bit more because I do think it's more accessible. Even though you still have got that experimental rock, you've got the blues, you've got the avant-garde jazz. It's just like Trout Mask too, but
What
it's a
I've
little bit
heard,
more open.
what I've heard for these two albums, people that like Trout Mask Replica more are just more intelligent.
You think that's what it is? Could be. I don't know. Um, like one of the, let's see. Uh, the title song, Dr. Dark, and Smith's, what did I write down? The title track, Dr. Dark, Smithsonian Institute Blues. And I think that really, as far as the way Don comes off, I think that it really shows, the way he uses words, it's very surreal, kind of like
Yeah.
Trout Mask.
He's very
I think
aggressive too
he's
with his
very
vocal.
aggressive, but I do think that there's a lot of humor on this record as
Yeah.
well. See, I would have thought you would have liked that, but maybe, hey, I don't
Uh,
know. I
and
think
there's
the
a couple
band
of
sounds. Go ahead.
couple of the instrumentals are nice. The guitar work.
hmm
Yeah.
I don't know. This record, I will mention, because I do have that data. It didn't chart here in the States. I know it didn't chart in Canada, but it did get 11 weeks on the UK album chart, peaking at number 20. Evidently, DJ John Peel was doing a lot of support and promoted it on his radio show.
Oh, that would work. Yeah.
And it kind of took hold over in the UK.
Yeah. So this was produced by Captain Beefheart,
Yeah.
and it
Maybe
sounds
that's
good.
I think it sounds great. I think the other one we gave it 8.5. I would give this a 9 out of 10, me personally.
Wow.
Well, I think it takes Trout Mask one step further. It's a little bit more accessible. It doesn't, I can listen to this record more. Plus, it's only a single record. It's not a double album like Trout Mask is. It's a lot more easier to handle, and you can still see the brilliance, even though it's still way out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
It's out there. It's avant-garde.
And so what are the next two albums that we're doing? One is it
Isn't it Clear Spot?
Unconditionally Guaranteed? That's
Yeah.
one, right?
God, now I'm gonna have to look it up.
So those aren't quite as weird.
No, this is where things start. After this, things become a lot
Yeah, he's
more.
trying to get more commercial, and he's trying to sell albums.
Well, Lick My Decals Off Baby got to 203 on the US charts.
Whoa.
Trout Mask didn't even chart.
Yeah.
So he's getting better. Spotlight Kid 1972 came out on Reprise. I've got that. Clear Spot came out in 1972. Also on Reprise, got to 191. So,
And that was produced
those-
by Ted Templeton, a pretty big
Oh,
producer
the
back in the day.
Doobie Brothers,
Yeah.
Van Halen, did David Lee Roth stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ted was in the.
And that's a great sounding album, Clear Spot.
Yeah, probably had Don Landy recording it, I would imagine. Uh, so yeah, we'll be looking at those. It's hard to really go to look at this record and go, man, this is great. You're gonna love it. But if you're completist, you're getting Captain Beefheart, you will have to go down that road. So I would give it as far as brilliance, I'd give it a 9.5. Or did I say 9?
I think you said 9.
And you said 8.5.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Larry, do you have anything else you want to add? We've played some tracks. Hopefully people are going to chime in. Do you have anything else you want to mention about these records before we wrap it up? Because I think we gave them a pretty good review, but we'll see what everyone says.
I'm actually looking forward to the future albums we're going to discuss. Maybe not the next 2 or 3, but like I said, the later ones,
Yeah.
I think are really good. And I'm
Yeah.
curious what you think of them. So,
Well, we will get there, and we will do that next month. And please tune in, everybody. Like I said, oh yeah, and Larry's got a channel too. If you haven't subscribed yet,
That's
Larry,
right.
go ahead and tell us about your channel, and
I've
maybe we can
got
get you some more
2
subs.
channels, not one. I've got 2. Canadian Stud Muffin, which is celebrating 19 years on YouTube.
Amazing.
I'm the only one celebrating.
Congratulations.
And
We're celebrating right now.
The other one's Larry Graves' Canadian Stud Muffin. And I post usually a video on each channel every day. Today, on my Canadian Stud Muffin channel, I posted the top 10 worst Sparks songs.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that's possible.
I know. Well, they're actually my least favorite, but worst gets more views when you put worst.
Right. People love negativity.
It's all about clickbait.
It is.
Yeah.
But so check that out if you like Sparks. But you have a lot more Sparks content over there on your channel anyway, so
Yeah.
check it out. Larry's always doing music reviews and stuff, so if you haven't checked out his channel, please like and subscribe. But
Thanks.
next month we will be back. We will be looking at Spotlight Kid and Claire Spot. So we'll be doing the same kind of thing. We'll play a couple tracks and go from there. How we might even do it live, I don't know. We'll see. What is
That'd be
next
cool.
month?
Yeah.
April. Might be able to get away with it. We'll see. So anyway, we'll see everybody. Larry, thanks so much for doing this. It's always
Thank you,
fun to talk music with you, even though some people might not look at this as music. But hey, we cover all kinds of things in the warehouse. So all right, we'll see you next month, Larry. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.